Living with a chronic non-communicable disease like diabetes or hypertension? Don't let the holiday spirit bump you off track. Continue taking your medications as prescribed. Stay hydrated by drinking at least the daily recommended 8 glasses non-calorie beverage like water and tea. Follow the eating guidelines given to you by your dietitian and be physically active. You don't have to be perfect at every meal. Just be conscious of your choices. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council.
Introducing the Spice Isle Jewelry Grand Christmas Sale. Get up to 40% off on our stunning collection of silver and gold jewelry above $115. Visit us to see our fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and our unique handmade pieces. Repair service second to none. Best value for scrap gold. At Spice Isle Jewelry, there's jewelry for everyone, so shop and save today. Treat yourself or someone you love this Christmas with something special from Spice Isle Jewelry. Serving you since 1986. Located on Grenville Street, St. George's. Call 440-3155 or 415-3155. And shop number 19, Spiceland Mall, Grandans. Call 440-6648 or 537-7801. Sale ends December 31st.
Let's get tough on greed, yeah, larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all the people, call 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the farmers, please don't steal produce from your brother. Then you're selling to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop greedy larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report greedy larceny, call 300.
Grenada.
Count me, because we all count.
Count all of us. Nothing about us without us.
Count me.
Count me. We all count too.
Count me.
Count me. We all count too.
Count me. We are people too.
Count all of us. Nothing about us without us. Because we all count for the coming census.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Welcome one and all to another Mikey Live program. I am your host, Mikey Hutchinson, and of course, it is time for another program. This is where it all happens. It is the good, the bad, and the Mikey. Woo. What a period. Woo. What a period. What a few weeks we've had. But we are here. Welcome. It is good. It feels good to, after a short break, be back from from a period of intense, if I have to say, if I do say so myself, illness. I thought I was gonna die, but God had another plan, you know, and so we are here. We live to tell the story. I survived, and thank you to God, and thank you to you, and all of you who basically called and messaged and expressed your concerns and support. You know, support do account for a lot when it comes to recovery from illness. But anyway, we are here. Enough of that. We are back with a bang. All right. And of course, folks, there's so many things that we have to tell you. Listen, I can't even go too far back. So many things just keep happening. The wheel of happenings keep turning. And so we're going to talk to you about concerns about breaches to the Noise Control Act. We're going to talk about that. And there was a man who was found dead. That's right, a man was found dead today. A young man, in fact, we're going to talk about that too. There's protest activity that we want to tell you about happening. Well, it happened today at the government Printery at the ministerial complex. We'll talk about that. And we have a special segment for you. All right, so we're not going to have the national report tonight, but we have a special segment for you tonight. You know that story that everyone is talking about? We think that we need to add some details to that. I wanted to add to tell you about it, but of course we couldn't. So we just have to compress that into one program. Yeah, because again, the wheel of happenings keep turning. All right, so tonight we have a special program with the attorney, Jerry Edwin, and we are going to be talking about that situation where a young man who has pled guilty to sexual assault here in Grenada of a 5-year-old boy who has now gone to the United, because he's a United States citizen, and because there is a law there, a very specific piece of law, speaking about American citizens. Even if he's a Grenadian, he holds American citizen status. Whoever, once an American citizen commits that offense in another country, once they return, they are liable again. And so we're going to explain all of that. We're going to talk about that and more with the attorney tonight. So it's a special segment, all right? Tonight, the second half of the program. Also, the local attorney has 3 wishes, and we're going to tell you about that as well. Okay. Also, the Queen's Park Rangers, when we talk about football, retained the national under-19 tournament title. All right, and there was football in St. Mark as well as the Villa. Well, they defeated Bonnet. Okay, so we're going to talk about that as well. So, folks, we have a lot to tell you about on tonight's program. Also, our COVID-19 numbers are looking good. So we're going to talk about that as well. So, folks, I have to tell you, welcome. All right, so we're taking that break, and we'll be back pretty shortly. Don't touch. And remember, share the business. Somebody sharing the business tonight will receive some free credit. Compliments Digicel. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Give some love with dread, bringing love for you this game. Communion showing that we care, with gifts of love with dread.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Communion showing that we care. With gifts of love with joy. Gifts of love with joy. Bringing love for you this year. Communion showing that we care.
Rich, smooth, delicious, and packed with vitamins that could only be one thing. It's a Rika almond beverage. Great on its own or a lovely addition to smoothies. So call Superb Distributors on 435-2948 or visit us at Tempe St. George's today. Remember, Rika is life and life is Rika.
The Housing Authority offers products that people can choose from, products that people can access, and I think anyone looking to build, just call the Housing Authority of Grenada. The service was superb. Every step of the way, they collaborated with the owner, they collaborated with the builder. The builder himself was really good. For what I've seen them do, I have to say that from buildings they have done in the past, to where they are now, they have come up to speed with modern trends, modern designs, and I think I will advise anybody to choose the Housing Authority of Grenada.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Alrighty, and so again, we'd like to welcome everyone again to another Mikey Live program. Again, it feels good to be back. The smell of the studio and all of that, it just feels so good. It has healing properties, if you know what I mean. Alright, so yeah, I thought, folks, I seriously thought I was going to die. I did ask God to protect and bless my family and all of that. But then God said, what are you talking about? Snap out of it. You know, you got work to do. And so I'm happy. I feel now more than ever that I have an assignment. And of course, I cannot leave until that assignment is complete. So let's go. So a lot of people now are actually happy that a government promise has been manifested. And we are talking about the promise to have a cap on the cost of fuel in the Tri-Island state. So the prices, though they may have fluctuated had it not been for that, the prices are now standard in terms of the gasoline and so on. So for example, the old price of gasoline was $17.24. That has now gone down to $15. Diesel, $16. It now goes to $14.73. Kerosene moves from $10.34 to $9.40. The LPG cooking gas, well, there's been no change on that. The 20-pound cylinders, well, you know, it's $40 for the regular, $37 for the Petro-Caribbean. The 100-pound cylinder, that moves from $234.95 to $220.30. Bulk moves from $245 to $230 in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Gasoline moves from $17.42 to $15. Diesel from $16.18 to $14.91. Kerosene from $10.53 to $9.59. In Petite Martinique, likewise, we are finding reductions as well. From $11.92 for gasoline, it goes to $10.68. Diesel from $10.68 to $9.41. Kerosene from $10.53 to $9.59. We're talking about per gallon, all right? And so that's the general cost of the business. Well, I see that GBN is once again in trouble with one of the government ministers. We're talking about Gregory Bowen. You know, the last time when Bowen was talking about we can expect electricity prices to go down and stuff like that. But it's going to be for a particular period. Then GBN ran a story, and then they received a lawyer letter demanding an apology, and I think it's $250,000 or $230,000 in damages. Yeah, no, 230,000 or 250. I can't remember the exact figure. That is crazy. So we don't know where that is going to go. I don't know whether or not if they apologized or if they have a response letter. And for no. Anyway, we need that talk. So we're moving on. So there was a bit of football on the weekend in St. Mark. There was a final of the St. Mark tournament. It started, the pandemic kind of interrupted it. Now football has resumed. The Villa, I think it was, were one of the finalists. They came up against Bonet, and they defeated Bonet 2-0. More on a national level now, we can tell you that the Queen's Park Rangers, boy, yes, they held on to the National Under-19 tournament title with a convincing 6-1 win over Happy Hill FC at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium on Thursday, 16 December. This was the first final featuring two St. George's Parish teams in many years, and Happy Hill FC, their first time in a youth final. So although they were defeated, but of course it was also a milestone for the team. All right, so congratulations to the Happy Hill FC for that. We've posted an entire story on that on our website. We are hearing now from the police. Citizens, you are hereby reminded that Section 18 of the Noise Control Act forbids anyone from providing amplified sound in any public space. Now hereunder, according to this article, is an excerpt from the section of law. It says permission is required in certain cases. No loudspeaker or musical instrument shall be operated or used for the purpose of providing music in any public place in circumstances where such music is reasonably capable of disturbing any person occupying or residing in private premises, unless written application for permission for the operation shall have been made to the police by lodging the same at the police station nearest to the proposed venue, no or not later than 10 clear days before the date of which it is proposed to operate the loudspeaker or musical instrument, and permission for the same shall have been granted in writing by the Commissioner of Police, provided that the Commissioner of Police shall respond to any such application within 96 hours of receiving the same. It goes on to say that any person who operates a loudspeaker or musical instrument in breach of the conditions of or restrictions attached to a permission granted by the Commissioner of Police commits an offense and is subject to criminal procedures. All right, and they are talking also about penalties for that. And here's this: a first offense to a fine of $250. A second offense to a fine not exceeding $500, or to imprisonment for 6 months, or to both. A third offense to a fine not exceeding $1,000, or to imprisonment for 9 months, or to both. And a fourth offense to imprisonment for 12 months. Wow! Now, members of the public, you are encouraged to comply with the law and request permission to play amplified sound within a reasonable time for your activities. I know that they've been having some activities since the removal of the the midnight curfew. There are a lot of activities happening now, and so you're finding that there are a lot of events, and a lot of people are stretching it a little further now to play music, all kind of, even in the cars. I know this doesn't speak to, and probably we will need to get the police to speak about that as well, in terms of what our obligations are as citizens, playing amplified music in our cars or in our private homes. All right, because you're hearing people passing with music after midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Nonsense, isn't it? But it happens. It happens more often than it should. All right. Audio. Today, boy, the alarm was raised when folks didn't see somebody that they usually would. And upon inquiries and so on, they found this man, a very young guy. He's known as Sean, but a lot of people know him as Plucky. I think he works at Huggins or something like that. That's where I remember him working. I don't know if he had another job recently, but I know him to work at Huggins. And he was found dead. Yes, he was found dead at home. And the police say that they are, they were called in and so on, and they found him. I think the name of the street where he was, St. Jules Street, right in town, and so I'm not too sure what happened. I heard there was one person who knew him very well. They were saying that he knocked his head, he knocked his head, and he could have, they believe, so I'm not stating that as a fact. I'm saying that is what was said, that he might have knocked his head, and he sustained an injury, and so on. This head thing, serious, yeah. So, and he was found dead. So police went onto the scene, and they were investigating and that. So probably we'll be able to hear more about that, in the coming days or so about this, Yeah, but yeah, you knock your head and that's the wrap. I mean, I was able to survive my knockhead, and although I'm on the program, I'm pushing my luck, but this is a serious thing. One day we'll talk more about that, not tonight, but one day I want us to talk about what happened and what we can learn from this, all right? Okay, yeah, so, yeah, Sean, Plucky, oh boy. Okay. So there was some protest activity today at the ministerial complex, to be exact, the government Printery. Workers, they decided to down tools after, they say, a lengthy period of trying to negotiate with the authorities regarding better working conditions for them. So the union got involved, and they were out in their placards with their placards, and they're saying, listen, they're not doing this because they want to, but because they have to.
Healthy worker, productive worker. Healthy worker, productive worker. Healthy worker, productive worker. Healthy worker, productive worker.
Today's activity, what you're seeing here, is a protest action regarding the health and safety of the workers of the government Printery. This is not an action that just came about overnight. The union, under my leadership, we inherited this situation. I wrote to the relevant authorities on the 23rd of July regarding the unsafe conditions at the government Printery. In fact, the matter has been long-standing, even years before that. But we have only gotten a generic response. People from the authorities send people to just examine the place, do measurements, and then after that, nothing takes place. This has been a consistent pattern for years, where you complain, people just come around, just give some grand promises, and there are no actions to suit what is commensurate with what is happening within the government Printery. It's a very serious situation. First of all, the air quality in there is terrible. If you step inside it, you will get immediately, when you step inside it, you will get a pungent chemical smell coming from there, and the workers have to operate within there for hours upon hours during the day. So you know what that does over a period of time. So we believe in the very short term, At the very least, extractor fans, exhaust fans are supposed to be installed in there to protect the workers. Secondly, we have a situation where the tiles are literally just spontaneously falling down from the roofs. There was an example right where customers have to come, it just spontaneously fell. There is moisture, a lot of condensation in the building that brings about molds and so forth. And the workers, they are just generally unhappy with the conditions in there because you can get sick. One must appreciate that occupational diseases don't come around if you stay in a place for a week. But consistently over time, you will see that you will come down with some respiratory ailment of something of that nature, and you wonder what's happening. But it's been exposed there for a long period of time, and we are asking the authorities. We have done our due diligence. I want this to be repeated. We have done our due diligence. We have followed the grievance procedures. This is a cry from the workers for assistance from the authorities to make the conditions in there better and not pay lip service. They come and they simply say, listen, we will build a brand new building or whatever it is. But while the grass is growing, the horse is starving. They must do something in the short term to protect these workers. And let me just add, these workers at the government Printery are some of the most productive workers in the whole public service. Anytime you enter there, they are like elves walking. They keep walking, they keep walking. And this action you're seeing here today is not as a result of them just wanting to come outside. It is a move of desperation and a cry for help to the authorities for them to fix the matter. They are productive, they are willing, but they need assistance to protect their health going forward. They need assistance. The authorities, we are calling on the government of Grenada, one of your key agencies, one of your most hard-working sectors within the public service. All we are asking for is for you to address the matter, put in some fans, extractor fans in there to get the pollutants out, fix the ceiling and everything, and protect the workers, and not just the workers, the customers that are coming here on a daily basis. We have to do better as a country. We are also calling on the government of Grenada to implement in Parliament the Occupational Safety and Health Bill, which is just sitting there making dust. Yes, we know there are some implications, cost implications to that, because occupational health and safety is not something cheap. But the lives of our people, the lives of our workers must be respected and must be honored. Like they were chanting, a healthy worker is a productive worker.
Healthy worker, productive worker. Healthy worker, productive worker. Healthy worker, productive worker.
And by the way, what they're also saying, Grimes is saying that if no serious attention is given to the issue, then it can expect that situation to basically escalate. And they're talking about escalation, like the workers going out for about an hour every day if they have to.
This is a struggle. What we would like is for there to be a conscientious response from the authorities. But in the absence of that, you will see escalating action regarding this. What you will see going forward is that the workers will come outside 1 hour every day out of their normal productive time to get some attention to this matter so that their health and their lives can be protected. And if that does not work, then we will have to escalate. It must be noted, what we are doing here is enshrined in law under the Employment Act 74 2E. It gives provisions, it has guidelines for workers to exit themselves that in situations or workplaces or environments that are detrimental to their health, right? And so they are well within their rights. We as the workers want to be productive, we want to do the right things, and we are doing the right thing by being outside here today. But we are calling on the government to also do the right thing and fix this in the immediate. The workers deserve it. The workers deserve it.
All right, thank you very much, Brian Grimes, and he is the president of the Public Workers Union. Folks, so there is that situation that's developing out of a situation that was in Grenada, where there's a young man who was charged and convicted for sexually molesting a 5-year-old boy. he is also an American citizen, and so once he went up to the United States, they are now prosecuting him for the same crime. This is what everyone is talking about now that I wanted to talk about. But even before we go there, I'd like to tell you, without going into details, that in Barbados there was a no tax day today, so you shop without paying tax. You know, the regular tax and so on. Yeah, by one day. You understand? They say if you see lines like snake, you know, in places, you know, malls and so on. That's one. Two, in Trinidad, in Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister there has stated that they are now going to mandate government public service workers to be vaccinated. I believe they are going to be required to be vaccinated by the middle of January of 2022. Yes. This is a huge development coming out of Trinidad and Tobago, and this is going to be a situation that we will follow. And the other thing that we have to tell you about as well is that our COVID-19 numbers here in Grenada, they are climbing and are looking good. On the weekend, they were doing tests and they were not finding any positive cases. So Grenada now stands at 42 active COVID-19 cases. And as it relates to deaths, it remains at 200. There are no persons that are in hospital. Yeah, no hospitalizations. Vaccination, 35,290 Grenadians are fully vaccinated, and there are 5,911 who have received one dose of a two-dose regimen as it comes to vaccination. Now, let's enter into our next segment. Now, let's talk about what's happening. So we are bringing you back into taking this thing into context. This is our feature story for tonight. Now, there was this man. About 2.5-3 years ago, he was convicted for sexually molesting or taking, according to the documents, his penis and putting it in the mouth of a 5-year-old boy who was left in his care for a brief moment. The case happened here, and he was convicted. And the sentence, he was charged, I think it was $1,500. He was required to also pay $600 compensation to the victim. All right. Now, he, at the time, lived his permanent residences in the United States, but had only traveled, according to documents, again, temporarily in Grenada. So he came to Grenada, the incident happened, according to the documents, he was convicted, charged by police, then convicted. Goes up to the United States, and the United States happened to have a special law in place for special and specific categories of crimes that are committed in foreign countries by American citizens. That includes crimes of a sexual nature. So then, upon his return to the United States, find himself in hot water. Now, since this news broke, there have been a lot of things. People has a lot to say. They want to break the judge neck, the magistrate, because it was in the magistrate's court, not in the high court, no other court, but it happened in the magistrate's court without understanding the details surrounding this conviction. And so we thought it only fitting that we speak to an attorney who has knowledge of the case, who can put the information before us so that we can better understand what's happening here. Family, we are speaking to attorney. We're meeting
We are speaking to Attorney Jerry Edwin on this particular matter.
And we have with us Attorney Jerry Edwin, and we have a few things to talk about. Firstly, Jerry, season's greetings to you and welcome back to the Mikey Life program.
Thank you, and to you and your family as well, Mikey, and to your audience all across the globe.
All right, great. So we, firstly, there's a case that has drawn the attention of many happening now, where there was a gentleman who was convicted and made to pay a fine based on a sex allegation of a 5-year-old. That case has come and gone in Grenada, but now we are seeing that has re-emerged in the United States. Now he has pleaded guilty, well, of course, to that, and there seems to be some sort of sentencing pending. What can you tell us about that case?
Thank you for the opportunity, Mikey. It's unfortunately, there was and there continues to be quite a bit of misinformation in the public about the role of the parties, that is the police, the magistrate, and American prosecutors, who have, in this case, decided to charge the young man, Tevison Roberts, with a sex crime under a particular federal statute in the United States, and we understand he has pled guilty. So if I can start with the top on this. And you know, last week I was listening to the Senate, our Senate, the upper house, and unfortunately the president of the Senate has once again put his foot in his mouth by discussing this case and without consulting any of the parties, particularly the police, the magistrate, members of the criminal bar in Grenada. The president of the Senate, Mr. Chester Humphrey, has unfortunately castigated an outstanding magistrate for the work she did in this case. And let me explain, because I think it is incumbent on attorneys to help the public. The criminal justice system cannot be understood from television or the newspapers, or even what your friend says, or even what a witness says. It is best understood from within, inside. So let me see if I can recount what happened. A young man traveling from the United States with his mother in about 2019, he's from Caracou. He came to Grenada to attend a Christian convention. Nothing unusual about that. Parents and families and friends and churchgoers travel all over the globe and attend these conventions. The young man came to Grenada to attend the Seventh-day Adventist convention, and for reasons that no one understands, there was a 5-year-old in his care, and he placed his genitalia, his genital organ, into the mouth of that child. A horrible offense. We do not know for how long. What we do know is that Child Protection Authority, the statutory body that should be involved in investigating these crimes and reporting their findings to the magistrate's court, were not present. The mother of the child reported the offense to the Grenville police station. The police, as they always do, investigated, arrested, and charged. And from there, the case went downhill. And let me explain what I mean. The offense was charged as a summary offense. And the public should know that in criminal matters, they are of two species, two types. An offense is either a criminal a summary offense, a summary offense, or it is an indictable offense. What does that mean? If it's a summary offense, it means that it will end in the magistrate's court at the first level. If it is an indictable offense, then it must go to the high court so that a high court judge can hear the matter. The public should know that almost every single case, I can go so far as to say every single case of pedophilia, the police in Grenada under our very, very harsh laws are charged as indictable offenses. So they must go up in the high court. But for reasons that cannot be explained, the police in this case charged the young man who placed his penis into the mouth of the child with a summary offense. A bail hearing occurred when the young man was brought before the court, and the prosecutor objected to bail. And they normally do. Young man from the United States, a serious offense like this. But the lawyer who represented the defendant informed the court that he was no flight risk and that the court should take his passport and all his travel documents. And that was done. That is a normal occurrence in the magistrate's court and in the high court for that matter. And he was let out on bail. And in case anyone gets this wrong, please know that persons who are charged with murder, manslaughter, attempted murder also get bail. In every common law jurisdiction, everyone is entitled to bail. The young man received bail. At the sentencing proceeding, his lawyer presented to the court evidence of who this young man was. 24 years old, going on 25. A sickly young man. For almost all of his life, his lungs had retained water. So he could not work. In fact, he never worked a day in his life. He was cared for by his mother. There were 2 medical reports that indicated this young man, the convicted man, the one who committed the act, was an epileptic, chronic epileptic. What we call in Grenada, he suffered from fits. So since he was a child, and the doctor didn't make it up, the lawyer didn't make it up, throughout this young boy's entire life, he grew up in Carriacou until he went to the United States. He suffered from epileptic seizures, chronic, all the time. Remember, this is an offense that should have been charged as an indictable offense. The police charged it as a summary offense. Folks, the magistrate does not charge. It is not the job of the judicial officer to charge. That's the job of the police after they conduct an investigation. At the sentencing, the magistrate asked for a psychological report of the victim. There was none, because CPA, normally who represents the interests of abused children, were missing in action. The magistrate in her notes expressed concern that this infant child would require some counseling, some psychological treatment, even though there was no evidence before her. And so she charged the defendant $1,500 so that the child could receive counseling. It is important to note that the child's mother was in the court, and the magistrate asked that mother, "Help me. What do you want? What can I do?" The mother said nothing. Now, we have heard the public say that the magistrate should have insisted on a greater charge, but I will tell you, and those of you who don't like lawyers, wait until you need one, because then you love every member of the bar. The magistrate, Her Honor Nevlin John, a magistrate for 14 years, a lawyer for going on 26 years, a magistrate who has sentenced my clients to long-term tenancy at Richmond Hill Prison for sex offenses. But you should know this. In a criminal case, there are two elements to consider in sentencing. They are the aggravating factors and the mitigating factors. Mind you, at the time in 2019, we did not have sentencing guidelines in force. But consider this. The magistrate has no idea, because the police never provided her with any evidence as to how long this offense lasted. They don't charge it as an indictable offense. What are the mitigating offenses, mitigating circumstances here, or the mitigating factors? Because we know what the aggravating factors are. They are the act itself. This wouldn't surprise anyone. This kind of thing, when it is done, it is a horrendous act. What are the mitigating factors? And this is what all courts do all over the world. They ask, did the defendant plead guilty? The answer is yes, immediately. Under our law, whether it's in the magistrate's court or in the high court, that person receives a 1/3 deduction in any sentence. What are the other mitigating factors? The mental state of the accused, the convicted man. We do not imprison in Grenada, in common law jurisdictions, persons who are cognitively challenged. Just today in the High Court, I had fitness to plead hearings. You cannot sentence someone to a term of prison if they do not meet the threshold of competence. That clearly is a mitigating factor.
Okay, and if I may jump in here, Attorney, no, you speak of the police charging summarily. In your opinion, was that a mistake? Because if I remember clearly, when you do that, the magistrate only has a certain limit in terms of how much, what kind of sentencing that can happen. I think when it comes to fine, is somewhere within the range of $7,000 or so. If there is a 1/3 reduction to that, then we're going lower, and considering other mitigating factors, it can in fact result in the kind of conviction that we have seen.
Absolutely, Mikey. You asked whether it was a mistake. I mean, I don't tell the police what to do. I wouldn't dare do that. But I have not seen a case like this ever before, where the police charge the offender as a summary criminal act. It is the charge is befuddling. Don't blame the magistrate. Don't blame the magistrate. And let me say this, if that magistrate decided, you know, I don't think this is the right charge, you know, Mr. Police Officer. Go back and come again. As a defense lawyer, I'm bringing judicial action against this judge, because the magistrate would have overstepped her boundaries. That is not her remit.
Okay.
You see, so for example, the president of our Senate, who should know better, should reduce the hysteria and help the public understand, instead is calling for the head of the magistrate. And there are other persons who have called for the head of the magistrate. Let me say this too. The United States, if you want to see judges that bow under pressure, I've got Exhibit A for you. The United States of America. You remember in the Southern District of the state of Florida in Miami, Mr. Epstein ran a sex ring. And I think, well, that's the gentleman, the billionaire who committed suicide in prison, and his former girlfriend is now on trial for aiding and abetting him in his sex crimes. There was a federal prosecutor who would later ascend up the ladder to Donald Trump's judicial department. That person decided, in the face of compelling evidence of Epstein's sex crimes, that he can go out in the daytime and come back in the jail at night and get television and get all kind of luxuries. The United States has a well-known problem with men going to Southeast Asia and other third world countries and committing horrendous acts of pedophilia. So they created this law that says if you are a United States citizen and you commit an offense of pedophilia anywhere outside of the state where you reside or outside the boundaries of the United States, the long-arm jurisdiction of that law will catch up to you. And whether or not you are prosecuted in that other country, not whether we are pleased with the outcome, not whether we think that Grenada did not do the right thing, but we, the United States, reserve the right to prosecute you again. So this was not a case where some prosecutor in America thought that Roberts got an easy ride and now they're going to do what Grenada didn't do. When persons in authority have an opportunity to educate the public, they should. Because dollars to donuts, once a federal judge in the United States takes a look at the mitigating factors, in this case, in the Eastern District of New York, Kings County, Brooklyn, where over 150,000 Grenadians reside, they will give him a suspended sentence. I wonder how many of our people who are making noise about this case and calling for the magistrate's head, how many of them will call for the judge in the United States? Plea bargaining in the United States is actually in statute. It's law. We don't have that here. So if you look at a 24-year-old man, ailing, mentally incompetent, with no evidence as to how long he committed the act, no evidence of any force, those who are saying that that young man will get 30 years in jail ought to have respect for our laws in Grenada. Because I will tell you this, Mikey, Grenadian law is extremely punitive when it comes to sex crimes. Don't blame the magistrate if the police do not hand over a folder that is robust, that carries the proper charges. What can a magistrate do? If you have a problem with this, go to the police. Tell them they should have charged the case properly.
But these cases, do they also go through the office of the Director of Public Prosecution?
Not if it's a summary offense. No. You see, that's if the police do not charge it as an indictment, the DPP's office don't look at summary offenses. They wouldn't. Right? Murder, arson, rape, theft by employment, the whole host of matters above section 150 of our criminal code. Absolutely. You need an opinion from the DPP. You say, I think we undercharge this. It looked like dangerous harm, but it should be attempted murder. You get an opinion from the DPP. This was not done in this case. What is the magistrate to do? In the criminal justice system, we all stay in our box. The prosecution cannot even give the judge a hint about sentencing. Judge, oh, I think that this person should get 5 years instead of 10. That's not the way the system works. Prosecutors bring charges and prosecute. People who sit where I sit, we defend. We acknowledge aggravating factors and ask the court to look at the mitigating factors. If we think our client should go to jail, but not 30 years, they deserve 20 years, we will make an argument to the court. And the court often agrees.
All right.
Those factors exist.
Okay, and just as we're about to wrap up on this particular topic, there might be some people who are of the opinion that if there is an unfavorable charge or conviction that happens in Grenada, then one can take that matter to another jurisdiction, as has happened in this case. But I think that you have mentioned what distinguished this particular case that allowed the United States government system to take this matter back to court, the fact that that individual is a U.S. citizen.
Correct. And it is a specific federal statute, a specific federal law that follows U.S. citizens outside of the country. And there are just a few. There's one, for example, with bribing a foreign official. Let's say a businessman in Brooklyn. He's not selling any of his goods in the United States, but he bribes a businessman in the Congo. There's a law, the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, that allows U.S. law to prosecute that person in the federal courts. So there are a few laws like that. But no, from a philosophical standpoint, I have a problem with the law. There is not a single law in Grenada, whether you're a Grenadian citizen or a U.S. citizen, we could pass it in our parliament, where the United States would extradite anyone who is a Grenadian citizen back to Grenada to face an offense if that person is a U.S. citizen. So really, we're dealing with you see where I'm going.
It's kind of one-sided, right?
It is American law by fiat, of course.
All right, and thank you for providing that clarity on that particular topic. It was one that we needed to have. There are a lot of opinions on this, and I think, as you rightfully said, we needed somebody with that kind of background as you have, to at least explain what the details of this is. And so we want to say thank you for that. And I know that also you have your wishes that you would like to see come true this Christmas season.
Ho, ho, ho! Let me say this, Mikey. At this time of the year, we celebrate, the holidays. I happen not to believe in the in the biblical story, because all throughout the ancient time, we know that the story of the virgin birth is thousands of years old. But for those who celebrate the Christian holiday, Merry Christmas to you. For our Pan-Africanist brothers and sisters, I say Happy Kwanzaa. For our Jewish brothers and sisters, it's Happy Hanukkah. But if I were a gift giver, and because I'm a lawyer, I would like to be the legal Santa Claus. I think I would like to see the poor person in Grenada received 3 things for Christmas. Number 1, leaving off where we just were, I would like to see a sex court in Grenada. 70% of the cases that go through the magistrate's court now are sex crimes. We have an epidemic, not just COVID. We have an epidemic of sex crimes, not just in Grenada, in Antigua as well. And the Antiguans have opened up a dedicated sex court with trained SVU, Special Victims Unit, officers to prosecute those cases. Trained, dedicated magistrates only for those kind of cases. Trained social workers only for those kind of sex cases. And it's not Antigua alone. This thing is so bad throughout the whole region that Trinidad in August just opened another sex court. Barbados is considering it as well. In Grenada, victims of sex crimes and those accused, and for the sake of our own people for this holiday season, I hope we can get a court with trained police officers and trained CPA persons that can sit in a court like this and give justice to victims and to accused persons. That's my first wish for Christmas. My second wish is for a land court. We know that there's a Possessory Title Act in Grenada, but you've got to pay people like me too much money to get your title. And your great-grandparents have been sitting on the land. I am praying and begging this government to consider a land court. We can do it for 6 months or for a year. Let's fix this issue. You know, there's a lot of talk about reparations. But we have kicked Elizabeth to the curb a long time ago. Uncle Gary did that. Elizabeth and all these royals, they're just symbolic. When we say the crown now, we actually refer to our own government, people who look like us. Why should someone have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for the land on which their enslaved ancestors, and it's not so long ago, you know, my friend. Because, for example, I know the name of my enslaved ancestor, Nen Jabet, from Samaritan. Why do persons in Grenada not have a bequest? Because the English, the European enslaver, did not give us our 40 acres and a mule. They kicked us to the curb of the estates. And if you look, whether it's along Corinth, whether alongside every single estate, you have poor persons who don't stand a chance in Grenada of owning a parcel of land. They have worked and worked to the bone and don't have anything in the country where their people were enslaved. What would it take? We're only a country of 110,000 people. You know how much land costs, Mikey? What would it take to bequest to every single Grenadian family who does not have a title the piece of land that they occupy now, where they have their homestead, so that they could set their bright children, the children, exceptional children today, bright children. Some of them cannot even make it through secondary school. They drop out in Form 4. They do so well, they get 8, 9 subjects. They cannot even go to TAMCC because their families are poor. What's the game changer? Title to your land. You then can go to the bank and say, Mr. Bank, I need $5,000 to send my child to university. And parents will work their skin to the bone to send their children to school, to get an education. We black people are the only persons in the entire world for whom it was illegal. And when I say illegal, I don't mean you get a slap on the wrist. For the black man in the Western Hemisphere to read and to learn, to educate himself, he would get a death sentence. It is why our people did everything for education for their children. Anything, everything. I don't want you to go in the cane field like I did. Go get an education. But people don't have land. They don't have anything. So the dreams of their children die on the vine of hope. What would it take to give every Grenadian 7,000 square foot of land? Or every person who occupies land? No. Let's have a land court. And within a year, we can settle it. We can give people something that they could be proud of. Lift the billions of dollars that would go into the government treasury from the taxes these people would pay. All boats are lifted. My final wish for this holiday season, if I were the legal Santa Claus, is that the legal fees in the registry for estates are eliminated for poor persons. If you have an estate, if your daddy or your grandma dies and she leaves $10,000 in her bank account at one of the credit unions or at the penny bank, 1,200 of those dollars go to fees to the registry. You hear me? $10,000. Let me be more accurate so there's no avoidance of any doubt here. $6,000 granny leaves at a riser or communal or GUT. $1,200 of that is going to pay fees. $600 of it is going to the newspaper for the advert, because now you have to publish. How much is that? $1,800. How much he has left? $4,200. And then she has to come to a lawyer. And then the Bar Association says that we can charge you, mommy, $3,500. That's the minimum to file that estate. What's granny left with? But that's not the worst part of it yet. If the guy down the road, the big man, has an estate that is $6 million, that person has to pay $1,200 to the registry, $600 to the newspapers, and $3,500 to the lawyer. They're writing that check right away, and they may even give me a bonus for Christmas. There is an inequity in the way that the fees are arranged for persons who have estates for $6,000 or for $6 million. For Christmas, I would like to see the poor person in Grenada have no fees to pay if their estate is under $10,000. Why should they? They already have to pay the lawyer between $2,500 and $3,500. Please, let's treat our people with love and care and tenderness. These are hard times. The last 2 years, and certainly the last year, Brother Mikey, was rough for the poor man. Rough. So with that, I hope you have a good 2022 in the year upcoming. Those are my 3 wishes, and they're not just rhetorical. I would like to see it real because it is attached to something real. A sex court, a land court, and a reduction in the fees that the poor man has to pay.
Sounds good. Well,
Merry Christmas.
And historically, legislators, they pass through the channel that you are in right now. And if I may hint, probably you may want to consider a career in politics. And so it would probably give you the arm that you need, the muscle that you need to see these things into reality.
Ho, ho, ho.
I was wondering. I thought that response took a while, right?
Mikey, may you and your family have a wonderful holiday. I know you have a beautiful little baby boy. Your spitting image, I must say.
Right. Yes.
Right. And yeah, I would really like to see this happen for persons, because it's a difficult thing, especially the land that person's grandparents and great-grandparents have lived on. And
Yes.
these people they really deserve a title without having to go through, the horrific fees that they have to pay. They can't do it. There's some who have welcomed the Possessory Titles Act, and we see all the ads in the newspaper every week. But what about those people who can't? I think they outnumber those who can and who do. Let's consider them. And I know that our government is very considerate of the poor. I think this is a poor man's government. Well, I didn't say it. I mean, the opposition, the largest opposition party, has said it. They said they're the party of the educated people. And so I am with the poor man. I come from under the cocoa, right? And the cane field. And so that's where I am with the poor, Mikey. And I would really like to see this government do something for the poor.
Okay, thank you very much, Attorney Jerry Edwin. This has been a really interesting discussion, and I know that the last time we said that we were going to have more of these, so I am so happy that we are able to fulfill that. Well, thanks again, and all the best to you.
Happy New Year to you and your listeners and your audience. Thank you for the work you do.
All right, great. Thank you. It's a pleasure. You make it easy as well. All right, and so that's our conversation with the attorney, Jerry Edwin, and of course, I do hope that you have a better idea of the situation, and of course, and the little end bit that he added regarding what his wishes are for Christmas, not for the Christmas season, but that's his wish that it will happen and remain happening, if you know what I mean. So we have exhausted our time, but we still have the weather for you. So let's just take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have for you the weather. All right, and I do see that we have a lot of first-time viewers on the program, and we would like to say thank you for joining us as well. So we take a quick break, and we'll be back shortly.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Let's get tough on breed your larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all the people, 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the families, don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop radio larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report pre-deal larceny, call 300.
Boss Care is an innovative daycare center that opened its doors when the country reopened after the lockdown in 2020. Our center provides a nurturing, fun, and safe environment for children to socialize, learn, and grow. We provide care the way you do. Our commitment to the parents using our service and the community is to provide care with a difference. And this is reflected in our flexible opening hours, creative learning programs to engage every child, and the benefits you receive when choosing Boss Care. This amazing center is a fully gated compound with lots of yard space to play and explore. We are minutes away from the Progress Park and a few seconds from the lovely beaches right here in Simone St. Andrew. At Boss Care, we cater for children 3 months to 8 years by offering full care time and aftercare services. Our opening hours are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Mondays through Fridays. We open on Saturdays and holidays upon request. We offer day and night care, transportation services to drop home at nights and pick up from school in the afternoons, special discount packages to suit every parent's budget, and a team of professional staff that has years of experience working with children. So, what are you waiting for? Check us out on Facebook at Boss Care to see all the fun activities we do and get to learn more about us. Give us a call today at 534-1189 or 459-5632, or send us a message on Facebook or WhatsApp at 534-1189. Boss Care, experience care with a difference.
Can't wait to see you. Bye.
Grenada.
Count me, because we all count.
Count all of us. Nothing about us without us.
Count me.
Count me. We all count too.
Count me.
Count me. We all count too.
Count me. We are people too.
Count all of us. Nothing about us without us, because we all count for the coming census.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
It's 12 days of Christmas at Courts. See the good this season and enjoy all your favorites. Shop today for 80% off Christmas decorations. Get a free rug with the purchase of any dining set and save big on TVs, appliances, power tools, mattresses, furnitures, and much, much more. Remember, only with Courts Ready Finance do you pay nothing until March 2022. It's 12 days of Christmas. Come celebrate with your friends at Courts. Offers valid for a limited time. Conditions apply. See online and in store for details. Courts, bringing value home.
Gifts of love with dread, bringing love for you this game. Communion showing that we care, with gifts of love with dread.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Communion showing that we care, with gifts of love with dread.
The Housing Authority offers products that people can choose from, products that people can access, and I think anyone looking to build, just call the Housing Authority of Grenada. The service was superb. Every step of the way, they collaborated with the owner, they collaborated with the builder. The builder himself was really good. for what I've seen them do, I have to say that from buildings they have done in the past to where they are now, they have come up to speed with modern trends, modern designs, and I think I will advise anybody to choose the Housing Authority of Grenada.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Welcome to Yogo. Most of you know us for our food delivery service and our food pass for free delivery from restaurants. But did you know you can also use us for grocery deliveries too? We've just added another 5,000 plus new items to Yogo Supermarket. And stay updated as we add more products and vendors. Yogo Services is our convenient skip the line offering. Let us pay your electric, water, and other utility bills for you. With us, you will be able to buy tickets, pay your rent, schedule bookings, and other services. Need a ride to get somewhere? Give Yogo Lyft a try. Select your pickup location and destination location and wait for our driver to collect you. Never have to worry about how you're gonna get to a place again. Please see website or app for our service locations. And sign up now.
All right, and so let's just give you the weather. Weather, partly cloudy and windy with light isolated showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 24.5 degrees Celsius, and the winds east northeasterly to easterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Now seas moderate to rough with waves 6 to 9 feet in open waters, and a marine advisory remains in effect. Taking a look at the weather for tomorrow, God's willing, sun is expected to rise at 6:23 a.m. and set around 5:48 p.m. The weather for tomorrow, partly cloudy and windy with light to moderate afternoon and midnight. Nighttime, not midnight, but nighttime showers. And the maximum temperature for tomorrow, 30.5 degrees Celsius, and the minimum, 24.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east, northeasterly to easterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas are expected to be moderate to rough, with waves 6 to 9 feet in open waters. And again, for tomorrow, a marine advisory will be in effect. And tides are expected to be low at 11 a.m. We want to say hello to the folks who are currently tuned in on YouTube. So all the YouTube viewers, we say hello to you. We've had quite a bit for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Glenda, Glenora, it's Clovey, Meryl, Mom, Caris, also Landona, and Brenda, all on YouTube. Everyone there, we will say hello to you guys. And for those of you who are viewing via Facebook, we want to say hello to you as well. I know that I think I saw Esther had a death in her family. Esther, well, condolence to you and your family, all right? Rolanda, Ventress, Charmaine, and Zaka, Mom and Linton as well, and Desiree, Doris, and Kirin, hello to you. Suzette, how are you doing? And hey, boy, Grenneck sent me a nice get well package. It was so amazing. I forgot. I'll probably show you guys a picture tomorrow. Really beautiful, man. So thank you very much, Grenneck. And Teresa, Polydor, Charmaine, and Shum Shireen. I missed you guys supercalifragilisticexpialidociously 1,000 trillion billion million zillion times. Yes, I had to jump out of recovery to come on the program, you know. Yeah, I haven't fully recovered, but I can't stay away from you guys a little. You're like drugs, you know, so I'm hooked. All right, so I miss you guys a whole lot. Look, we have an extended program. I mean, that's just to say we have an extended program tonight. That's to say how much I miss you. Golden, how are you? Della and Angel. Thank you, Leslyn. Blessings to you as well. And everybody else. All right. Blessings to you. And again, thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the messages and everything that you did. I'd like to say thank you for that. All right, guys. So take care of yourselves and have a good time. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No, take care.